Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com.
Hey everyone, hope you had a good weekend. Checking in on a nice Sunday morning. So we're going to look at the 4-hour equilibrium forming on Bitcoin that we anticipated. We're going to add NEO into the mix, as NEO is definitely seeing huge upside with its relation to China and the fact that China is seeing this big push into blockchain. NEO is responding to that in a big way, and we'll see where everybody else is set up. So as we left off yesterday, we were looking for a 4-hour higher low to form and anticipating an equilibrium with our high, scouting the low, and then we'll look for a lower high to form under 10,540. And that's what we have right now. And I forget exactly what I said in the last video, but I had made an entry at 9,200. At that point in time when I made the video, my stop was under 9,000 and I moved it. So I did not get stopped out on this last little flush. And I know that's a little hard to believe potentially in hindsight. So I always put everything as I'm doing it in the chat room. So I am moving my stop a bit more under 9K. I would not be surprised at a flush of that level to find a 4-hour higher low. So I want to give some more wiggle room. So from what changed from where I made my entry at 9,200s, which was right about here, into moving my stop lower under 9,000. And actually, not only did I move my stop lower, I placed another buy order in the 8,800s that never filled. So why did I change things? Well, number one, I saw the clear defense of the 9,000 level. And it's just, honestly, it's at this point, it's experience from seeing it so many times where there's a very clear level that everybody's watching. At that point, the fact that 9,000 had held for hours, we were 3, 6, 8 hours of that level holding. And it was just knowing that how many times have we seen a key support level break right into the move that we were anticipating. And that's, where people say market makers were just hunting my stop. I got stopped out and then the move took place. This is accounting for that and recognizing and saying, okay, if we see a flush of 9,000, are we going to just dump? No, because we've already been consolidating for a solid 12 hours. We're still going to be anticipating a 4-hour higher low, even if 9,000 breaks, which is why I put another buy order in at 8,800. And it's just adjusting to seeing the setup and seeing the most likely scenario and the fact that a lot of stops would be under 9,000 and the fact that that little flush under that level could be that last little climax push from the bears and knock out the last of the bulls that would be looking to sell before we get the move that we're looking for. So in the end, I put my sell order this morning. Actually, I put my sell order yesterday at 9,600, 9,625 to be exact. Why did I choose that level? Because that's a day maker trade from my 9,200 entry. So I exited my second position. I'm not touching my 7,300 position anytime soon. And at this point, now it is a big push this morning, 15-minute, got a bit extended, big pullback, and now we're going to be looking for an equilibrium on smaller time frames. We can potentially be watching an hourly equilibrium. High, low, now we're scouting our lower high. If we form an hourly equilibrium and break it bearish, our 4-hour lower high will be set. If we form an hourly equilibrium and break it bullish, then it hasn't been set yet, and we'll be looking up to the upper 9,000 range towards 10,000. So locked in daymaker on the half position that I re-entered on consolidation, and any bull that missed their move, the 4-hour higher low was the play to be looking for as far as an entry goes. And now it's just defending any new bull entries or establishing your game plan from here. How long are you going to be looking to hold? Daily inside bar on Bitcoin is pretty much a sure thing. If that inside bar breaks bullish tomorrow, the move not done yet. If it breaks bearish, then we'll say, all right, top is in, and a daily higher low will then have to form. At this point, like I said, I'm just going to hold my initial position, and I will add the position that I just flipped for $400. I will add that back if we have to consolidate and find a daily higher low, and I'll look to the daily exponential supports as a potential target to re-enter that position. Another factor in why I was comfortable moving my stop, putting another buy order in, is because at this point, I still have a good chunk of cash. I'm not heavily allocated in Bitcoin. I'm allocated enough to definitely be benefiting from these moves, but with plenty of cash on the side as well, that keeps me comfortable to know that worst case scenario, I would have to scale in, 8,800, which would bring my average to 9,000 for my new entries. Then I would add another one down at 8,500 if things got extreme and we still had not found a 4-hour higher low yet. But it's just the confidence of knowing that after a clear break to a new range, equilibriums form 9 or more than 9 out of 10 times. And that's, again, just from experience. So ETH, Daily inside bar here as well. What does the 4-hour consolidation look like? It's similar in the sense that we have our high and low established, and now we're wondering, has our lower high already been set? And again, if we're just looking at the health of this move, we can just say we topped out at 200, we pulled back to 174, so that means 187 is the midway point. So we haven't quite seen a 50% retracement, but we've seen a 45% retracement. So that lower high can absolutely be set already. We're just looking for clues on the hourly time frame as to whether or not that is the case. Same kind of hourly tightening range on Bitcoin forming as well. ETH BTC chart still certainly favoring Bitcoin. Big 2 red days in a row, little daily inside bar today, but at this point we're focusing on a weekly higher low to try and form on ETH BTC compared to 1614. Have to change the weekly trend if we're going to see a significant shift here. Otherwise, this long drawn out weekly downtrend can continue with lower highs and lower lows. LTC USD, also a daily inside bar, also the same 4-hour setup. So high, low. Has our lower high been set yet? Not convincing that it has. We can certainly see another leg up. Again, calculate the 50% retracement, which would be about $59 or so. So same thing, we came back just below that level. Not quite 50% retracement just yet. And looking at the hourly chart, watching to see if we're going to form an equilibrium. If we cannot break 5807, it'll be a lower high, and then we'll see if the bulls can pull off a higher low after that. LTC BTC trying to set a temporary bottom, but there is no support. So as far as I'm concerned, it's almost a black dirt breakdown. Definitely not exactly. There are previous historical support levels to look at, but my point is there is a very large amount of space in between those levels. 522 is the next level, and you can see at least on Coinbase, there's nothing else nearby. Let's go to a different exchange just to see how it matches up. And this is Bitfinex. So 5346, and after that level, again, we're looking down at 275. So very little support. RSI levels mean a lot less when there is so little price history to be going off of. So I don't have much interest in Litecoin these days, and as long as this chart looks like this, Bitcoin will always have my attention ahead of Litecoin. Ethereum still in the mix here just because of the potential for a weekly higher low to form. So Neo, how's that for a move? Increasing bull volume shows us this move is for real with its strength. This is the USD pairing, but the Bitcoin pairing is exploding as well. 1032 breaking, very bullish. Now we're looking at, and it was just a really nice base of support, but weekly time frame. Next resistance is 1258. If you were going to try and chase into this move, don't. Because yes, we could keep going up, but the risk to reward for entries up here is not good. If anything, 4-hour higher lows. Look for an entry on a 4-hour higher low. That way, at least let's say we pull back and I make an entry for a 4-hour higher low at 980, and then we get no follow through. At least I can have a low risk. Whereas if I'm entering right now, where am I going to put my stop level? I guess I could use the hourly higher low of 1003, but that's still a 7% risk on a very overextended move. Again, we can keep going up. This is definitely a hype FOMO run, but I personally would rather miss the move to the upside and try and get that 4-hour higher low whenever we do top out. For those that are already in, it's a different story. You're just riding this hourly uptrend and you're extremely comfortable. When we lose the hourly uptrend, then we look for the 4-hour higher low to form. When we lose the 4-hour uptrend, then we look for the daily higher low to form. But there is no sign of that at this point after a very healthy exponential support and hourly uptrend still intact. This was a nice little hourly equilibrium break of $10, seeing a pretty quick 6 to 8% on that follow through. So on plays like that, that's also a way you can play a move like this, just looking for short-term day trades. So a tightening range, you know that if we break $10, we're likely to get at least 2 or 3% of follow through. That's definitely worth a 2% scalp if you're trying to be protective. Just quick in and out on that break, and we'll see how long this move can keep up. XRP USD, daily inside bar as well. If it breaks bearish, we'll have to pull back and form a daily higher low. Again, we are still range bound on this weekly time frame. This is the most important range as far as I'm concerned. With our new higher low, the most important support, 250 and 327. These are the most important support levels and resistance levels on this current setup. And until one of those levels breaks, we're not going to see any kind of major moves on XRP. So bigger picture focus, and then we can zoom in and look for the details from there, knowing that if we pull back, we will look for a daily higher low. And if we continue this move with an inside bar bull break, it's all about 327 resistance. BNB is also a daily inside bar, same thing. If it breaks bearish, we have plenty of space for a daily higher low to form. If it breaks bullish, then we have not topped out yet. And next resistance after 1803 is going to be up at 1950. So there is a lack of resistance up in this range. Actually, I take that back. 1977 is our current top. After that level is 20 psychological and 2036. I don't like I said in a recent video, I don't like how the clarity of this chart has been lost. Just whether or not, it's a distinct weekly trend change. For me, this little quick higher low and then continuation is not ideal for a setup for a trend change. I want to see space in between the pivots. Let's see if we can change time frames and get it a little bit more clear. That's a little bit better. Let's go to the 4-day chart. So at least the 4-day chart had a clear day of consolidation, higher low established, and then is trying this continuation move. Again, all about monthly time frames for everybody. We're looking for the monthly higher low on all of these names, Binance included, and it looks like we're going to end this month with a monthly inside bar. And if that were to break bullish in November, then yes, our monthly higher low is set and the monthly equilibrium is playing out. ZRX USD is about to get knocked off the video list. Reason being, it did not see any bullish action with Bitcoin recently. I shouldn't say not any, but it didn't see much. And we're in a scenario where we're close to losing daily supports, which would mean weekly consolidation is underway. So support is 282 and 273. And if those two levels break, zoom out because a weekly higher low will then have to form. And again, just the fact that we're consolidating while there's so much bullish opportunity in this space and other names means it is losing my interest. Doesn't mean it's off the radar for good. It just means it's not worth tracking day by day because there's other opportunities in the short term. We will still be looking for a ZRX weekly higher low to form if we do lose those daily support levels. Link USD, bull break with a lack of follow through. The most important level here is 240. Anything above 240 keeps the daily uptrend intact. And we are in a scenario here looking at the 4-hour chart where the bulls have struggled to find a support level. So if we were to look at the Link US or the Link BTC chart, we are definitely fading compared to Bitcoin and unable to find a 4-hour higher low. Key support 274 is a double bottom on this Bitcoin pairing. And if that level were to break, then Link USD will definitely be looking for daily consolidation to try and hold 240 support from there. So short-term opportunity for day traders in NEO. Losing the hourly uptrend is also an opportunity to go bearish. And again, you would want to be quick because obviously the bulls have momentum. But if we lose the hourly uptrend and you go bearish, and let's just say it were to happen on this level, if 1003 were to break, you would zoom out to the 4-hour time frame. You'd look for a pullback in perhaps the upper to mid $9 range. And again, just looking for a couple percent scalp, not trying to get too greedy, playing against momentum and ensuring stop losses just in case these bulls keep squeezing some shorts. So we'll see if Bitcoin's 4-hour lower high is set. That's what we're watching for the rest of the late morning and afternoon. It's 9:35 a.m. Eastern here on the US coast, East Coast. So hourly equilibrium on watch. How that breaks is going to give us good information on the 4-hour equilibrium setup, and how the 4-hour equilibrium breaks will give us the daily information. So that's where we stand overall. Hope you have a good Sunday and do some good things, and we'll check back in when we get a break on the 4-hour. I forget what end of videos I've put on the crypto videos recently, so I'm just going to attach a few of them, and they might be repeats.